Hi everyone, it's Alison. I hope everybody's doing well, and I hope everybody is keeping well. I'm back today. I thought I would do something that I haven't done for a little while here. I've been guided today to give some specific channeled spirit messages. Okay, so these may only resonate for a few of you, but like I always say, my aim, my purpose is to reach those who need it. If these messages resonate for one or two of you, my job is done. Then you are meant to hear these messages. These messages will be timeless, I have to say. These specific channeled messages are timeless. So they find you, you find them when you're meant to, okay? Please bear that in mind. I will try to get through as much information as I possibly can. But they, again, there'll be a general for the collective. It's different if you have a personal one-to-one. That's another matter altogether. That information is literally specific for just you. But Spirit want me to do this because obviously there are some people out there who do need to hear certain things, and for guidance. And I feel that Spirit have guided me to do this today. So there's no cards here today, but I have 3 crystals, as you can see. 3 crystals here. I hope you can see those. So the first crystal I have is amethyst. Okay, I don't know if you can, I hope you can see that. Okay, and then I have my selenite tower there, and then I have my good old rose quartz. Absolutely love rose quartz. I love them all. I love all my crystals. You'll be aware of that hopefully by now. Crystals are a big thing for me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask you to focus on these 3 crystals here. And whichever one, excuse me, it seems every time I attempt to record, my throat, something happens. I don't know if this is my throat chakra opening up. I'm not sure, but please forgive me if I get the croaks here and there. I do believe it is Spirit trying to work through me. I've said all my opening prayers. And as I say, I've got 3 crystals. I want you to focus and go with which crystal really pulls you in, which really speaks to you, okay? Because each crystal, I will be giving a specific message. It will be an overview, an overall for the collective that choose whichever crystal. But what I want to say is these will be messages directed at those people who choose the specific crystal, okay? And I hope that, you get something from this. I really do. Because, Spirit are getting ever more stronger with me. And they are guiding me. And they guide all of us if we allow them. I have to say that, Spirit don't just work collectively with one or two, it is that they work in such wonderful ways, and I found that to be the case throughout my life. So they've never let me down, and they've always been there. So I'm hoping that there's a few of you out there that will get something from this today. Anyway, I'm going to just tune in a little bit here. As I say, I've said my opening prayers, and hopefully Spirit are there waiting. So I think I'm going to start with the quartz. Okay, so remember we have the amethyst here. We have the selenite tower here, and we have the rose quartz. So I'm going to start with the amethyst. So please focus. Please focus. Focus on the amethyst. Okay. Gosh, that's cold. That is really cold. So let me see. I'm going to take a moment just to tune in. So, Spirit, please give to me the messages for those as a collective that have chosen the amethyst. Please come forward and give to me the messages for those that have chosen the amethyst. Okay, straight away I have a couple of names that have just come in. I heard Terry, and then I heard Tony. Okay, now this doesn't necessarily have to be a Terry or a Tony out there. This could be somebody that's around you. Also, it could be somebody who's in spirit. Okay, that are wanting. I'm trying to just tune in here. I feel that Terry and Tony are on the earth plane. Okay, I have to say that straight off the bat there. Terry and Tony are on the earth plane. And they're talking about Susie. It sounded like Susie. Okay. So Susie, if you're watching this, Susan, Susie, whichever way you can take that, perhaps Terry and Tony are around you. I feel these could be siblings, actually. They're just giving me siblings. They're giving me 3 siblings. So I've got Terry, Tony, and Susie or Susan, whichever way. And this feels like a mother figure coming in. This feels like a mother figure coming in. And I've just heard Joyce. Joyce. And she's making me aware that she would have passed with what she's given to me. She's given to me breathing problems, actually. She's given to me breathing problems. And she is showing me oxygen. So I feel this lady's saying, oh, I'm going really cold. Excuse me, I'm going really cold. Okay, that just means that they're drawing in close. That's just a sign for me that this person is drawing in close. Okay. Joyce is saying to me that she would have had this health issue around her for some time. She says she learned to live with it. It was something that was part of her everyday life. Okay. And I'm seeing the oxygen. So she had a lung condition. She's saying to me, it was my lungs. It could be something along the lines of emphysema, possibly COPD. Sorry, CO. Why is she saying CO? Yeah. COPD. Why did she just said COPD? Okay. COPD. She just said, okay. She's worried. She's worried about one of the boys. I'm going to get this message out as quick as I can, because obviously I want to be able to. So I don't want this message. I'm just asking her if she can give me as much information, in the shortest space of time, really, so that because otherwise this could turn into a full-blown reading. She's talking about the younger brother out of the 2. So there's 3 siblings, there's 3 children. She's talking about her 3 children. She's talking about the younger brother. Gosh, I'm going really cold again. Okay. The younger brother, she's saying Tony. So I want Tony as the younger brother. Okay. She's talking about him, and there's something, and she's saying to me, I don't want to divulge too much of his personal business, but there's a situation that's going on around Tony at this time, and she's really concerned that he's not looking after himself, that he's not doing. She says there's no self-care there. There's no self-care. There's no self-care. She keeps saying that over and over. There's no self-care. And she's worried, I think, that Tony is going to end up in a similar situation health-wise to herself. That's her fear. She says the other two have their families. So I don't know if Tony is on his own, alone, or whether... gosh, this lady's really concerned. She says they have their families. Susie, Susan. She keeps saying, I think she called her Susie, but I think she may have been Susan. I think that Susie is Susan, but please take it as you will. She says Susie has her dogs and her family. She's really tied up. She lives further out. She's telling me she lives further out. She's putting large pieces of land around her, which make me think that she lives quite rural in out in the sticks a little bit, as we would say here in the UK. She says Tony's on his own. I don't know if Tony has separated from a partner that he was with. She says Terry has his own business. Terry has his own business. He's running his business. He's very busy, literally. She says Terry is very busy. So Tony, it sounds to me like Tony could be quite alone at this time. It's not because I don't think that his family care. It's just they're very busy in their own worlds, and everybody knows what that gets like. She says he's okay. All right. She says he's struggled. Tony has struggled during this period that we've all been going through, which I'm talking about lockdown. So we've all gone through different variations of lockdown. She says he's struggled. He's picked up old patterns. I know what she's saying, but I don't want to go into too much detail because, again, certain things are not for public consumption, and I will stress that. I'll only say them if I think they're relevant and spirit give me that permission. I will never ever talk about anybody's business that's not for public consumption. She's talking, I know what she's referring to. He's returned to old patterns. Let's just put it that way. Tony has returned to old patterns and she's concerned. She's saying that he needs to reach out for the help and the support because his health, there's no self-care. His mother's deeply worried. She's really concerned that he's going to end up, as she says it, with dreadful health like I had. Only his will be more self-inflicted. I wish this was a little bit more positive. So, okay. So if anybody knows, if anybody is taking this and it resonates, or they think they know who these people are, please, could you pass on that this mother has come forward. She says the name Joyce, but again, it doesn't necessarily have to be her name. It could be just something, someone close around her, that it's a way of being able to verify, that who she is. It helps to narrow it down slightly, let's put it that way. I think Tony is also financially burdened. I think he's struggling. I think what Mum is trying to say for this person is that they need to now reach out for the help that they need. They now need to come forward, put the pride down. We can all, I talk about this, a little bit of help goes a long way. That's what I want to say. A little bit of help goes a long way. So please, if you can take this, if you know of Tony, if you know of these siblings, because I feel that there's not been a huge amount. I don't say they've not contacted each other or that they've not spoken over, but it doesn't feel to me like it's regular, like it's an onward going thing. And I think Tony's struggling. I think this youngest sibling is truly struggling. He lives in the city. The other two I want to put further afield, okay? And the other brother has a business. I feel he works, to me, he's got some kind of, it's a physical business that the other brother has. I see a truck with him. I see, like, like building materials and things like this. So I do feel that he has got his own physical business. Very physical, she tells me. His business is very physical. But she says it's very successful also. But these other siblings live that bit further away. So Tony doesn't quite have the support. He's a little bit out on a limb at the moment. And she wants to draw him back into the fold because she says he desperately needs the support right now. So this is what the message is. Please, if anybody can help with this, if they know of this family, if they're aware of who these people are, please reach out to them and let them know that their mother is reaching out and she wants to let them know that one of the siblings is struggling, the younger sibling is struggling. She's not going into massive detail because, as I keep saying, it's not for public consumption. It's only meant as a way to reach out so that this person can get the support and the help that they need. So please, if you are this person or you are one of these siblings watching, please know that mum is around you, okay? She talks about summertime and that summers were a real focal point with these children growing up. I see lots of, I think they would have spent a lot of time outdoors. This family feel quite outdoorsy to me. If they feel quite outdoorsy, and they would have spent an awful lot of time in the summer, in the open spaces. Mum makes me feel that this was a period when the kids were free. They was able to go and enjoy the space that was around them, nature. All the children seemed to love it. The summers were spent as a complete and utter unit. That's what she tells me. And I do believe that she just wants to bring them back into the fold. That's what she just said. I want them to come together again like they did as children and how they were in the summertime. They was always outdoors together. They played, they did so much activities as children together, these three siblings, because I don't feel like they're massively age difference. I don't think that there's massive, there may be a few years between them. It's not a lot. Okay, I'm going to thank this lady for coming forward. I really want to try and get through this. I don't want this to, because otherwise we're going into a full reading. So I'm going to say God bless her, God bless you. Please, whoever chose, I said they would be Pacific, and they really will only resonate for, probably one person out there, but I needed to do this, okay? So those of you who chose the amethyst, if you know of these siblings, the message is that mum is there and she just wants to help for the younger sibling, okay? And I'm going to leave it there and say God bless. I'm going to move on now to the next crystal, okay, which, let me move this one out of the way. We have the selenite tower, okay. I want to try and keep this flowing. So we have the selenite tower. I'm just tuning in here a little bit. So those of you who would have chosen the selenite tower, please focus on it, because I'm going to see now who I can bring forward Okay, we move on now to the selenite crystal, my selenite tower here. So for those of you who chose this particular crystal, please focus, okay, because I'm going to now tune in. And as I say, these are very it's wide open. I wanted it to be for the collective, but I'm kind of feeling these are going to be really specific to just one person, because the last one come through that was very specific. And so it's not going to be for everybody, but it's not meant to be for everybody. It is literally wide open. But they are messages that need to come forward. They're messages that need to be heard. So I'm going to tune in for a second, okay, and see who we have here. What message, dear Spirit, please, what message do you have for those who chose the selenite crystal? Okay, I've just heard a man laughing, and he said the name Charlie, but he's laughing. So this is good. I don't want them to be too heavy. They can get really heavy because Spirit often come forward, not just to give messages of upliftment, but sometimes when there is something very heavy going on, they want you to know, they want to help, and they need to say their piece. So it's nice that I've just heard somebody laughing. Charlie. He's telling me, I think Charlie would have, how can I put this? Charlie was a happy soul. He was a happy soul. And he lived quite a life. That's what he's telling me. He's telling me that he lived to a fair age. He's telling me he lived to a fair age and he enjoyed life and he loved his music, and he's telling me he loved to have a good time and he liked to dance. And I think that his family and his close friends would have specifically known that about him, like he'd possibly be the sort of person that he's in his kitchen and washing up, but sort of dancing at the same time. He's a lovely soul. He's a very jovial character. He tells me his wife passed some years ago before him. She went before him, but he tells me that he had a very, very happy marriage with her. He's telling me he was in his 70s when he passed. He said, I had a good life. And I don't feel that he had a really long illness. He makes me, I'm going so cold. He tells me that it wasn't prolonged, it wasn't drawn out. He said, thankfully, it wasn't. He said, but nevertheless, his family were devastated. They were devastated. He talks about two growing sons. He says, but they left home. They made their own lives. They made their own way a long time ago. They kind of. I'm just trying to find out how long this guy's been over. It makes me feel it could be roughly around 6 years. It could be a little bit more. But at the very least, it's 6 years he's been passed over. But he talks about his two sons. It seems today it's parents that want to reach out to their children here, and bless their hearts, why wouldn't they? He's talking about his two sons, and he mentions the name Gary. His wife is there, but she's not stepping forward quite as much as what this fella is. This guy is quite confident, and he is a character. He's very, very. He said you really would have been hard pushed to find me in um, in a bad mood. You know, this man feels to me like he was always upbeat. He always tried to look on the bright side of everything. You know, he's going to me, I wasn't a negative Nancy. He says, I wasn't a negative Nancy. He said, I always tried to be as upbeat and as positive as I could be. But he missed his wife desperately after she passed. And she's been over, I would say, 10 years or more. She went before him. Um, and he said, but you know, I think him and his wife had some kind of an understanding that, you know, if anything happened to one or the other, that they was to get on and continue to live their lives. You know, they wasn't going to be, you know, just kind of wallowing in um, sadness. And you know, the pair of them embrace life. And you know, she would have said to him, look, you know, if anything happens, I want you to get on and to live your life, to enjoy whatever's left and to be happy. And he said, and that was what he did. He didn't remarry or anything like that. He tells me, he said that wasn't really, you know, I think they were quite old school, an old fashioned couple that, you know, they married and they married for life. And I feel as if, yeah, he tells me that wasn't really, he wasn't really looking for anybody else, but he got on and lived his life. And he spent a lot of time with family. You know, he tells me he would be invited round to different members of the family quite regular for dinner. You know, and he tells me he wasn't short of company. This is what he's saying. But he wants to reach out, I feel, to his sons. And I'm not feeling any overriding sense of anything being amiss around his sons. But he wants to reach out to them. And he wants them to know that he's okay, that mum's all right, you know, and that they love them and that they watch over them. I think one of these sons, he tells me there's been a new child born around one of these sons. Now, I don't know if this could be a grandchild, or whether it's somebody close around them that's had a child. But he's talking about a child that's been born around one of these sons, not necessarily to one of these sons, but it's around. And he says the baby is an absolute source of utter enjoyment. You know, everybody's enjoying this new little soul that's been born, and it's really lifted everybody's spirits. He said, because people he's talking about his sons, that they've all struggled during what we've all been going through. He said, and so this child coming along has really lifted that. It's really lifted everyone's mood, and they absolutely adore this child, and the child just brings so much love and enjoyment to them all. I don't feel like this is going to be a hugely long message, because this man just wanted to come in and to let his sons know that he's there and he watches over them and that he's around them, and their mum. But she just stands back quietly. She seems as if she's letting him do all the talking. You know, she's just letting him get on with it, kind of thing. Also, I feel there's been a new car with somebody. He talks again, this could be with the sons, but he just spoke to me about one of them either looking to get a new car or they've purchased a new car. And he's saying it gets his seal of approval. It looks red to me. It looks like a red car. It looks quite, it's, how can I put it? Because it varies, obviously, you know, like here in the UK, our cars are slightly different to those abroad, you know. But to me, it's got a little bit of a sporty feel to it. I can't see what Pacific car it is, but it's just got a little bit. Could be like the wheels are quite nice on it. You know, it just looks a little bit. It looks a little bit extra, if that makes sense. There's a little bit extra to it. It's not a basic. It's a little bit extra, but Dad is saying that it gets his seal of approval, like he really likes it, and he tells me he's been for a ride in it. When they've been out in it, he's been in the back seat there lapping it up. He says that's what he tells me. Very, very down to earth man. Very, very. He said there's nothing special about me. He said I'm just a regular person. He said, but I love my family and I love my children, and he loves his sons, and that is the message that I want to get out with this. That he's sending all of his love, and he wants his family and his children to know that they're fine and that he watches over them, that he's always around and sees all the little things that they do, and he knows what's going on. That's what he's saying. So I'm gonna keep it moving, because I like to try and bring through, you know, as much as I can. But like I say, otherwise these are going to turn into full-blown reads. And I don't want to make this video too long. I want to try and just keep it moving. So with that, I'm going to say God bless and thank you so much for stepping forward. And I hope that has reached somebody who chose this. I hope, as I say, these are Pacific. You know, if there's anything there that you can take, please take it, you know, whichever way. But I guess these are going to be, you know, I wanted to try and make them a bit more, but they're coming through quite Pacific. So with that, I'll say God bless. And if anybody is aware of who these people are, please can you pass these messages on? It's really important that these messages are received. Okay, but I'll say God bless, and we'll move on to the next one. Okay, we'll move on now to the rose quartz. So if you chose the rose quartz, please focus, okay, while I tune in. I have already got somebody bursting to come through already. So those of you who chose this, just focus, just sit and just focus, and hopefully that will help bring forward. Okay, so I've had a lady come and step forward here, and she gives me the name Shirley, okay? Again, this doesn't have to be their names. This could be names of people they want to reach out to, names of people that were around them. It doesn't necessarily mean the names that I'm giving during these readings are specific to that person. They're just names that they are putting out there, okay? It helps you to resonate. It helps you to get a better picture of people that may be either around them, close to them. It just helps to send the vibration with names. When they give me names, it helps with the link. It helps with the vibration. Anyway, she's given me the name Shirley, but she came forward and she said to me that she was Catholic. Now, I don't know why she needed to tell me that, but she did. She mentioned that she's Catholic. And I think from that, what she's kind of saying is that she's not actually really connected or communicated before. Perhaps she wasn't. What she's kind of making me feel is that she wouldn't have gone to mediums or clairvoyance or this type of thing. She's saying to me, I was Catholic, but that's absolutely fine, because once they cross over, everything is enlightened to them. They are enlightened massively. And she's laughing because, you know, she's kind of, she's down with it now. She's what she says, she's kind of just put it to me, I'm down with it now. I get it now. I understand, you know. But she's saying here on the earth plane, she was Catholic. And she did mention a name, and she said Stuart. She said Stuart, and she's saying Stuart was provided for. Stuart was provided for. He needs to know he was provided for. Okay. So that's making me wonder then, does Stuart know he was provided for? Or is she just reiterating the fact that Stuart did get what he suspected would come to him? Either way, that's what she's just said. She said the name Stuart. Um, this lady seems to me to be quite. She tells me she's got broad shoulders, Shirley, and when she says that, I know what she means. She says, "Oh, she says I lived a life. I lived a life, and um, she said people would come and talk to me, people would confide in me, people would tell me their problems." She said, she misses her friends, she misses the people coming and talking to her. So it makes me feel that surely, if that is who that is, or this whoever this is that's around her, this lady's missing the connections that she had. She tells me she had a large group of friends and an even larger group of family. She's telling me she's Catholic. I think this lady was a churchgoer. I think this is where people came to her. This is where people would have come to her when she was in church. But she's telling me I was. She really is. She's really got a funny way with her. She's saying to me, but I wasn't any Bible basher. I was far from that. She said I was respectful because I was brought up in the faith and I respected it deeply. And she would go, perhaps on a Sunday, she would go and take a pew in the church and just pay her respects and say her Hail Marys and all of this type of thing. But this lady lived a life. You know, there's a completely another side to her as well, is what she's telling me. She did have a large family, and she said we liked to cook. She said we liked to eat well. There was always something going on in the family where we would get together. She's kind of building a picture here, really. I'm just seeing an absolutely large family. There's all these people now coming forward. I hope they're all her. I hope it's all to do with her family and not all this spirit literally lining up to come in. Because she's kind of opening a doorway here. She's kind of opening a doorway. She said, I knew a lot of people. She said, I know a lot of people here on the other side. And I think she's thinking if she brings them all in. I got a Jocelyn. Jocelyn just came forward. Jocelyn. Therese. It sounds like Therese. Therese. Oh gosh, she really has opened a doorway here. I don't think this is going to be a Pacific read. I think I'm going to be getting a lot of people popping in here. I've heard Therese. There's a birthday. There's somebody here whose birthday is coming up shortly. See, they're saying different things to me now. Okay. Right, step back a bit because I need one at a time, please. I just heard the name Tyrone. And there's a birthday. There is a birthday. I think this is a special birthday. This is a special birthday, and somebody wants they either want a bike or they want a car. It's a special birthday. But this person, this young person, has a little bit of a need for speed, which I want to say they need to, because I think they're already driving, but I think that they're hoping for a new vehicle of sorts, if that makes sense. They're looking to, it's either a bike or it's definitely something on wheels. They want, and they like speed. They like speed. I'm being told they like speed, and I'm telling them they need to slow down. They need to slow down, okay? Because this is spirit now coming in, and they're saying they'll get what they want, because this young person is quite headfast, headstrong, and they will get what they want. They want, I think they want wheels. That's what I'm hearing, and I think this could be a car. They want a new car or a car. I don't know whose car they're riding around in, but they're definitely riding around in somebody's. They're already able to drive, but this birthday thing that's coming up, it's the latter part of April to early May. But really, I want, right, okay. Right, let's stop it right there. The birthday I feel is coming at the end of April, but there's some kind of a celebration that will happen. It's got to happen in May. It's early May. So there's a delay there, and I'm not sure what this delay is, but it's where, oh, going so cold. Okay, right. There's a birthday. I feel this is a young guy. This is a young guy that's got a birthday coming up. It's a special birthday, and he is literally chomping at the bit. Can't wait. The birthday I feel is coming at the end of April, but there is a celebration. There's something that he's planned that won't take place until early May. So it's not going to actually be, it won't be the day of his birth. Oh God, I'm going so cold. It won't be, right, I'm going to get this out because this is important. Okay, this young guy has got a birthday. It is late April, but the celebration that's planned that he wants to see and do and have won't happen until early May. Okay, there's a specific reason why it's like that. Maybe there's a venue that's been booked and couldn't get it for the day of his birthday, or perhaps his birthday falls on a weekday and we want it at the weekend, and all of this type of thing. But this guy is in too much of a hurry. His loved ones on the other side here are telling me he's got to slow down. Because this guy is really, everything he's doing of late is with speed, with a need for speed, a need to do it this like this, a need to get it out. Everything is like go. And he's got loved ones in spirit, and I feel these are elders. They're telling me we're elders. We know better, and we watch him. And I think there is a little bit of a warning here for this young guy, that he needs to slow the fudge down. He needs to just to stand still for 5 minutes, because I think that there's other things around him that he's pushing, and he has lots of energy. That's all I can say. This young guy's got lots of energy, but it's how he's channeling it. And I think there's a group of them. There's him and a group of others that he's with quite a lot. And they've arranged something, and it's going to happen during early May. It's going to happen. I just heard, it sounds like Terrell. I'm getting all these names coming in. I don't know. I heard Shanice. Whether these are the friends groups, there's quite a large, I'm going really cold, large group of friends around this young guy. A large group of friends, but there's something that's arranged for early May, and Spirit want him to slow down. Slow down. His loved ones, they said elders. They said elders to me. So I want like great grandparents, this type of thing, that are already in spirit. My ears are ringing, absolutely ringing. Okay, if anybody can take any of this, could somebody please just have a word with this young guy? And I think it's going to be difficult because he does seem quite headstrong, and I'm not sure that this would be his way. This would be the sort of thing that he'd even gravitate towards or listen to. But if that's not the case, then somebody needs to take him aside and just have a word in his shell-like. That's what we say here in the East End. I'm Cockney through and through. The shell-like is your ear. He needs to listen. He's not listening, which is why my ears are ringing. He's not listening. He's not listening. I don't want to know. I don't listen. I'm just, I'm having a good time, and I'm, he feels when this birthday comes. I think this is significant. I think this could be a significant birthday where he feels like that's it. I'm a grown man now, and I can do what I like, and basically I'm going to. I don't know if I've said the name Terrell, but I keep hearing the name Terrell. I don't know if that's relevant, if anyone can take that around this. May is so significant. May. I just want it to be put out there, okay, that this young guy needs to slow down. I don't know what I think to me, he feels like I think he may work part-time, but I think he may be studying as well. I think this young guy is studying. He feels like he's doing some form of education, studying, but he does work part-time. And his loved ones in spirit are just wanting him. They're just saying, breathe, breathe. Because I feel like this young guy just races around at like 100 miles an hour. Everything he's doing, everything he does is with speed, and it's like they just want him to just stand. I want to take a deep breath, stand still, ground myself, and just slow down. I just want to be in the present with him, because I have to say there is a warning there. He needs to slow down. He needs to slow down. That's all I'm hearing. Slow down, slow down, slow down. I've just heard the name. It sounds like Justine. I think his mum. I think she gets really worn out with him because of his energy. Like she gets worried, and she tries her best, like slow down, she's always telling him, sort of take time, don't rush that. She's telling me that whoever this lady is in spirit is telling me he even eats fast. He even eats his food fast. He's like, everything is done. This young guy is doing everything to speed. And his mum even says to him, slow down, eat your food, sort of at a normal pace. Like this guy is just so, he wants to be here, there, and everywhere. He's got big ideas, big plans, but he just needs to slow down. His elders are coming forward, and they absolutely said to me, elders. So these make me feel that these are like great grandparents. If they're not his direct grandparents, these are elders. They're there. They're there watching him. And they're trying to guide him. They're trying to guide him just because they just, they can see that he's just racing ahead too much on too many levels. But he's got a good mind, this boy. He's got a good mind. He's got a brain in his head, but he just needs to use that. not just for the studying, but just apply it to your everyday life. That's what they're saying, you know, apply it. Apply it. He's got a sister as well, this young fella. He's got a sister. He's got a younger sister as well. Gosh, this is this reading. I don't know who this is for, but honestly, whoever chose the rose quartz, they're all popping in. They're literally all popping in. The other two were a little bit more specific, but I just have to give you what Spirit gives to me. I cannot give you anything other than what Spirit give to me. So I'm going to ask them to stand back now, because I really don't. This will end up being a Pacific read otherwise. It will be a very, very, because there's a lot more information's coming in with that, I have to say. But I would rather, you know, it sort of like I would rather, if more information is going to come in, I want to know it's directed and going to the right source, and the right person would need to hear that specific information, okay? But I'm asking them to stand back now, and I thank them so much, Spirit, for coming forward. Bless you. Again, if you can take any of what I've been given here and you're able to pass it on, or if it's for you directly, the message here really, you know, is just for this young guy to just pace himself, really. You know, he's got the rest of his life to live. He needs to pace himself, because there's an absolute need for speed for everything he's doing, and they just want to see him slow down. But, you know, he wants big things, and I do feel there's a vehicle around, a new vehicle, and, you know, something where he's getting wheels of some kind, and this is all connected into a birthday that's coming towards the end of April, and there is something that's arranged for early May. Again, the only caution with that is that, you know, all these young people are so geared up for this and so excited that they just need to calm it down a little bit. Just calm it down a little bit, you know, otherwise things could get a little bit out of hand. And that's the energy that I'm picking up with this. But I'm going to say God bless. Please let me know in the comments, okay? And I thank you so much for watching and supporting me and my little channel as she grows. You know, it means such a lot to me, and all this has been such a long time coming for me. It really has. Spirit have wanted me to reach out for forever, and I'm such a shy private person, you know. I didn't know, sort of like, you know, it's kind of like it's a big deal for me. So but yeah, I'm just happy to be here and be giving out the messages. So thank you so much. God bless you for those who chose the rose quartz. Please let me know in the comments if you can, because I go away and I worry about things. I sort of, you know, I'm like, oh, I hope that does reach who it's meant to reach, and, you know, I hope that resonated for somebody, and let me know that everything's all well, and, you know, so yeah, it really means a lot. But anyway, I shall be back soon with more messages, and until then I shall say take care and God bless.